My name is Baakir Tyehimba, from Algiers, born and raised in Algiers, scatter site, Hindi Street. Seeing like the lot across the street, when you look out the window, I have these big picture frame, windows, 5 feet wide. You look at this overgrown lot, tall grass. I said, man, we need to like make that a safe haven and let the children like really enjoy the space. At the time there were like 48 children on the block between Slidell Street and Homer Street. And this was because, coming back from the storm, a lot of families had to live, forced to live together if they wanted to be back in New Orleans. Children finds a way to create a basketball goal. They're gonna play basketball in the street. So I just saw the lot as being a spot that could be transformed into being something that, supported and benefited the community more. Initially, tried to find the owner of the lot. No one showed up. At the time, there was 2 Mercedes-Benz cars on a lot. At the time, I had a little F-150. I tied my chains to each car and pulled, the cars out onto the street so that somebody got to come and tow it, because now it's blocking the street and it's a hassle. No one that I called when I was asking about trying to get it moved, peacefully, wanted to help. So I just left it in the street, and they eventually, got towed away. From there, the guy who actually owns the the lot showed up, right? And so what are you doing? And I'm like a new homeowner at that time. In 2004, that was the first house that I'd bought. First time ever owning a house. When he showed up, I was like, well, look, I'm looking at the lot. You're not doing anything with it. It's always, overgrown and whatnot. I really just want to use it so that the children could have a place to play. I'll put a fence around it. I'll keep it up, keep the grass cut and everything. And he was like, all right, cool. No problem. Got my children, some of the, children off the block, mostly boys. Took out all my power tools, called a couple of my comrades who also, knew how to build. And we took forward building, playhouses. After about a week of building, some of the people, I don't know if you remember Yaya. Yaya was an arts group that did this fantastic, beautiful work. Lionel Milton and all those cats brought them in. At any rate, they built. They upped the game, because here I was making some box houses. They came in and made something so slick. The house looked like it was leaning, but it was really not. They had a ladder shooting out of the roof. They painted it. It was beautiful, right? So that made it became a competition for everyone who was involved. So now everybody's trying to make the best house. So that's how we ended up. One house that we made was 2 stories, and it was about 7 feet tall, right? And then all of the other houses were 6 feet, 6.5 feet high. But that one house really changed everything. And right after that house was completed, the inspector for the HDLC ended up driving through and saw us doing the work. At this point, we were putting up a fence. He said, what are y'all doing? And I'm like, we creating a little playground for the children. Now, I'm smiling, I'm happy. I'm thinking, I don't know who he is. I see he has some city credentials, but, I know we're not doing anything wrong. And as far as I'm concerned, we improving the neighborhood. So he said, well, who you got a permit to do this? I said, no, I don't have no permit, because there's nothing permanent here. It's to me, it was like building a doghouse. Not gonna get a permit for a doghouse. So at any rate, He proceeded to say that we needed a permit, so he went to his car, a truck, got a stop work order out, and stamped it on the post. While he was still there, pulled it down, ripped it up, and like, fling it at him. He looked at me, went back to the truck, got another one, posted that one up. I took that one down, balled it up, and threw it harder. He went back to the truck again and came back with another one. But by that time, I looked at the faces of the children that was with me. My actions mostly was affecting them. I laid back on it, and like I said, we sat on the porch, on the steps in front of my house, sitting across the street, talking, trying to gather ourselves from what had happened. So when the inspector left, maybe 15 minutes later, I was like, all right, come on, time to get back to work. And we maybe a week later, it was a short time later when the guy who owns the lot came to the house. Like I said, I live right across the street, and he would, he begged me to stop building because they, threatened him with fines or even jail time. So, I didn't want to be the cause of no man going to jail or even having to spend money for something that I was doing, even though we had, an agreement. So what ended up happening is they wanted me to come to like the city council, and the city council chambers in City Hall. So they made an appointment. I went, had the conversation. They told me they needed 30 days. They give them 30 days to come to a decision about whether or not we can continue building a pocket park. What they used as their reason for the stop work order was the fence boards. So in a historic district, all fences are supposed to be ornamented. They gave me two different choices, but both of them had points at the top. Now I'm talking about a 4-foot fence that surrounds a place where children are going to play. And I'm like, there's no way I'm about to put points on a fence so that children might hop across and hurt themselves. I said, that is absolutely stupid to me. I left, still aggravated, mad. The grass started, because the guy who owned the lot, he didn't cut the grass anymore. I was so, pissed about it. I didn't want to cut the grass. So, it got nasty again. I guess I was supposed to go to a meeting again, and I didn't go to the meeting. I got a letter that said that we can continue to do the park, but we would also need liability insurance and things of that nature. By that time, I was beat because of what the conversations I had with the children, and the houses started being destroyed and whatnot because there was no maintenance being done. So we let it go, and it went right back to blight. All of the morale of the community was deflated. I had never gotten the same kind of involvement out of the children or the elders in the community the way we had before. So yeah. When I do a thing like this again, I make sure that I'm not including or involving people who can be damaged outside of myself, or if they can be, they'll understand the risks that are involved. Because I would do it again, and I will do it again. You know what I'm saying? For you to learn from experiences, they don't have to be yours, right? So when you are able to identify with an experience similar to yours, then you can, it's like studying history. You're able to figure out, what was done wrong or what was done right in the past, so you can either, mimic what was done right or not do what was done wrong. I'd love for people to see this story or hear the story and say to themselves, man, there's an empty lot that is full of, trash and debris on my block. We can do something, something similar, and make life better for ourselves. That's the ultimate right there. A lot of small changes creates a large, a much larger change. You know what I mean?